Welcome to another digital engagement podcast brought to you by LivePerson. Through its LiveEngage cloud-based platform, LivePerson creates meaningful, real-time customer connections that increase conversions and improve customer experience. I'm your host, Patrick Spencer, Senior Director and Editor-in-Chief at LivePerson. Joining me for the following podcast was Ido Hacohen, the Vice President of Ecosystem Partners at LivePerson. Well, Ido, thanks for joining me today.
Sure, happy to.
This is going to be an interesting conversation. A good starting point, I think, for our listeners would be just to talk about the apps marketplace in general and what it's all about.
Absolutely. So the apps marketplace is available on our website. You go to apps.liveperson.com and you'll see partner-related add-ons and widgets that complement our digital engagement solution. The whole idea behind the marketplace is that customers of ours can extend the LivePerson solution by using innovative solutions by our partners.
They basically develop, and through open APIs, they can be bolted onto the LiveEngage platform.
Exactly. So what they do is that they look at areas where we might have a gap, or we might be able to do something a little bit differently. And they basically fill that gap using their own product, and they integrate into our platform through APIs and through SDKs, and just the general regular kind of interfaces.
Mm-hmm. That makes a lot of sense. Now, the value proposition for a customer would be they have various business requirements when they're developing their digital engagement roadmap, and there may be some nuance that isn't addressed yet in the LiveEngage platform. Or is just an emerging space, and they can actually fill that with a solution from an apps marketplace provider.
Exactly.
So that's interesting. Before we dive into any greater detail on the apps marketplace, let's talk about your background a little bit.
Sure.
You've been at LivePerson for how long?
3 years.
3 years.
Yeah.
Time flies when you're having fun.
It does. It does, absolutely.
Now, have you always been in this role managing the apps marketplace, or did you come on board and have a different role?
So when I joined, I was actually in charge of the Israeli and EMEA-based partners of the apps marketplace. Mm-hmm. But a year after, I basically took over the whole apps marketplace and mm-hmm. Our complete relationship with any ISV. And that's one of the reasons why I moved to our headquarters in New York.
So how long has the apps marketplace been in existence?
It's been in existence for around 2.5 years.
So when you first took on the role of overseeing all of the apps marketplace a couple years ago, what was your charter? I'm sure there were some things that you wanted to evolve and transform and change in regards to the apps marketplace, really bring it to the next level. Mm-hmm. What are some of the things that you tackled?
So, when you look at the apps marketplace and then the dynamics behind having a partner ecosystem, there's a few components to it. The first component is having our system open. So that relates to all of the APIs that we open, the interfaces such as SDKs, and so on. So the first goal was to actually extend what we provide in terms of open interfaces.
Mm-hmm. So right? You did some work on that to even open up wider, yes. So it's easier to develop on the LiveEngage platform.
Exactly. Right, and we wanted to see what were the areas where it makes sense for us to invest more in opening, right? Such as one of the areas that we've highly invested in the last year was around our engagement window. Mm-hmm. So we took our standard chat window and we actually turned it into a multimedia kind of digital engagement window. So you can now not only use it to text chat with people that are coming to your website, but you could actually share videos with them. Mm-hmm. You could go into a co-browse session with them, video chat session with them. You could actually look at if you're a financial institution, you could actually use a mortgage calculator with them. So we're taking it far beyond just chat, and we're bringing it into a real digital engagement solution.
Interesting.
So that's one area.
And there are some actual partners that have taken advantage of that already and have apps on the apps marketplace today.
They do. Video companies that actually produce videos. The agents are able to show those videos to the visitors on the site. And if you look at the studies related to buying habits, you see that videos actually have a great deal in influencing people to buy. So you go into, as an example, you go into a telco provider, you want to learn more about a specific cell phone. Instead of the agents just telling you, giving you more information about the cell phone, you can actually see a product video and then make a conscious decision and go through
compare
the buying
choose
cycle.
Which one is most appropriate for yourself.
Yeah. And that's something that was developed by one of our partners. So that's one area. So the first thing was to open it up. Now that and continue evolving the openness of the platform, because we are it's one of our the core areas that we invest in. Once you have it open up, you have to make sure that the industry and the developers and the partners are aware of something like that. Right? So another part of the business is the developer community. So we have a pretty robust developer community. We've focused a lot on involving our R&D and our product in conveying information to our developer community and in engaging. So we use a community platform that enables us to actually engage, right? Both
it's interactive.
It is, right? So we've got our customers, we've got our partners, we've got our employees, all interacting
with each other.
Exactly. And all of the information that you need in order to get started to develop an application is available on the developer community.
And if you run into a challenge, you actually can pose the question in the community, and you likely are going to get an answer to your question.
Very fast. That's the nice thing about it.
It's a very collaborative experience.
It is. Either from our employees that are looking at it on a day-to-day basis, so they have KPIs in which they have to go in and answer questions that are on the developer community. Or sometimes we even have customers and other partners that beat us in giving the answer. So it's
it's a good thing to have.
It is, absolutely.
And the adoption of the developer portal, developer community has been great thus far. From what I understand, you have a lot of folks that are now members of that community, and a lot of interactions that happen on a daily or hourly basis.
It has, absolutely.
And you have a member of your team, I believe, who actually helps, is the community manager, if you may, who helps facilitate those conversations?
Yeah, so he makes sure that we have all the content on the developer community. He creates events that are relevant to developer communities. He makes sure that the content and everything that is happening on the community is very compelling, and drives additional people to the developer community.
Yeah. Makes a lot of sense. So if I'm a developer in the marketplace and I'm familiar with the LiveEngage platform, and I have an idea around, wow, if I could add this on to the LiveEngage platform, I bet there's a number of LivePerson customers or prospects who would be interested in leveraging this solution. What are the steps about going and actually embarking on the development roadmap and then taking that solution to market after you have it implemented?
Excellent. So the first stage would be, in a lot of the cases, the partner needs to do some homework to understand what are the solutions that we provide, what are customers looking for, and where do they fit when you look at a overall holistic solution. Now, in most of the cases, we're in the same industry. So, they're talking to the same customers, they're trying to go after the same customers. We're a public company, so most of the information about our customers and our product is available to our partner community. So, usually what happens is that they start by figuring out where's the area that they fit best in. We then have usually a pretty short conversation where they present their solution, and we have a brainstorming session. There's a person on my team that is in charge of the apps marketplace partners. So we have that conversation, we brainstorm on ideas.
And this all filters through the developer community, or is it taken outside of the developer community at a certain point?
So you could, there's two ways of going at it. One, if you know exactly what you want to develop, you can develop it on your own. Because it's a self-service.
You don't even need to engage LivePerson.
You don't even need to engage LivePerson. And we have some very interesting case studies in which somebody knew that there's a need, developed an integration, came to us with an integration that was fully developed, and we got so
fully
excited. Yeah, fully baked. And we got so excited that, the next stage was for us to bring them onto the apps marketplace and then, introduce them to a few of our customers. So that's one way of doing it, right? It all depends on the way that the company works and the size of the company and, what's their
what risks they're willing to take on. Because if you take that route, obviously, if you develop it and then there's no need for it, then you've spent a lot of time and money developing something that there's no market for.
In most of the cases, somebody that goes through that path knows that there's, they've done their
due diligence and
business
analysis.
They usually have a customer that is asking for something like that. There's a lot of cases where a customer of theirs will tell them that they are using LivePerson and ask them if there's a way for them to integrate with what we're doing. Right? So that's one way of going at it. The second is basically to have that, if you're not sure what's the right way for you to integrate, but you do believe that there is a value proposition if 1 + 1 = 3, you connect the two products, then the customer would have an additional benefit of using those products. Then in those kind of cases, we have a introductory session. We explore the different possibilities. We make some suggestions as to what route to take. We point them out where they need to look at in order for them to be able to develop those kinds of integrations and add-ons. And then, they go through the process. They go through the process where the end goal is for them to be uploaded on the apps marketplace, which is basically the portal in which all of our AEs and all of our customers, they go into to learn about those partner solutions, right? And then, if it makes sense, once we have...
And that's sort of a self-service capability where they post content into the apps marketplace from a marketing perspective, so it tells all about them as a company as well as the specific solution. And if they have any marketing collateral that's associated with it, they can post it there.
Exactly. So we are true believers in self-service and in empowering our customers and our partners, and that's just part of it, right? So they have the ability to control their own listing. We can, advise and give them best practices, but they have the ability to actually control their own listing. The more they make it compelling, the better traction they will get. The more content they upload on it, the more focused it is, the better traction they'll get.
Makes a lot of sense. So they upload all that into the apps marketplace. Now they're ready to take it to market. What are the next steps there?
So we usually, the first thing that we try to do is we try to find a joint customer. A joint customer is something that is very powerful. Once they have a joint customer, right, and our customer lists it's pretty easy to find who our customers are and to engage with our customers. And once there is a joint customer and a joint case study around that customer, we're then able to bring them in front of our salespeople for them to educate our salespeople. We're able to do those kinds of podcasts.
The value proposition comes to life.
Yeah, exactly. So the value proposition comes to life. We've seen that has been very successful in the past. If you have a customer that you can talk about, everybody gets excited. The customers get excited, the AEs from our side get excited, the AEs from the partner side get excited, and you just connect everything together.
So then it's a go-to-market strategy. They can work in concert with different account managers across LivePerson to present their solution to those customers, or there are obviously instances where it'll be organic. Someone actually found it on the website. They may contact them directly. So there's a couple different options in terms of how they may get potential leads and then go after them and then actually bring that opportunity to a successful close.
Exactly. And we have a few people that are actually dedicated to making the partners successful, right? It's in our interest as well that the ecosystem and the apps marketplace and the partners are successful. We have a dedicated partner marketing, director of partner marketing, that works with them on creating podcasts like the one that we're just creating, and creating videos and the value proposition, and working with them on the apps marketplace listing. Also a person who's in charge of the actual apps marketplace partners who works with them and makes
business development.
Yeah,
and so forth.
Exactly, business development. So works with them, making sure that they're value proposition is well articulated. If there's a need to work on a business case or a business plan, then he works with them on those kind of things, and just making sure that those guys are that the joint value proposition is successful.
Mm-hmm. Makes a lot of sense. So if you're a customer and you go to the apps marketplace, there's different categories that the different apps are broken into. Can you give our listeners sort of a high-level overview of what those are?
Overall, I would separate the areas in which partners interface with us into 4 to 5 categories. Mm-hmm. One is enhancing the actual engagement, right? Mm-hmm. So, we provide text chat-based engagement, proactive engagement. We provide a content offering based engagement. Mm-hmm. And one of the areas that we've seen very successful is additional types of engagement. Those could be co-browsing, video chat, service engagements, mm-hmm. right, like virtual agents, website walkthroughs, and so on. So you basically are taking the LivePerson platform that knows who to interact with at what time and in what method.
You're enhancing the engagement.
And you're enhancing the engagement, mm-hmm. right? So you could create an engagement rule that basically says if there's a specific person that is looking for a specific thing, the way to engage with them would be through a virtual agent. Mm-hmm. If they're looking for something different, then start a co-browsing session with them, mm-hmm. right? And it all connects together. So that's one area.
And those are the rules that you can bake into the LiveEngage platform.
Yes, because our platform is proactive, mm-hmm. right? So we know who to interact with at the right time, and our customers can actually use that to embed.
So you don't want a video chat with everyone. You don't want virtual agents to go to everyone. You don't want to co-browse with everyone. You want to target the high-value customers, if you may, in a predictive manner, decide what engagement model is most appropriate for them and the most appropriate from an operational efficiency standpoint for you as a provider. So.
You got it. Absolutely true. That's the way.
So that's one area. What's the next area?
The next area is the engagement extensions, right? And those would be the product videos that we were talking about, the mortgage calculators, the product catalogs, the product recommendations. So think of it as an extension to it's like another layer within the engagement. So it takes the engagement to a more of a multimedia kind of engagement. Mm-hmm. So think of it, let's take an example, right? You're chatting with an agent. You see the chat window, right? And you're looking for a new pair of pants. And the agent, based on what you're looking at on the site, can recommend a new pair of shoes, mm-hmm. right? That's something that we're so used to when it comes to brick and mortar kind of sales. But when you're chatting with someone, that's something that
new phenomenon.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
But customers are looking for that, and we know that customers are looking for that. So by using product recommendations as an example and enabling the agent to basically push a recommended product to the visitor, right, through that window, we're able to provide additional capabilities to the visitors, mm-hmm. and get them
increases the likelihood of them actually buying a product at the end of the day, I guess,
exactly.
Which is how it's measured.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So think of it, that could be, it could be surveys, right? So you're talking to the agent and he presents a survey. It could be product recommendation. It could be product catalogs. It could be, it could be product videos. It could be any type of really calculator that you want to use if there's something that you want to do with them.
So it could be e-commerce sales related. It could be service related. It could even be marketing related.
It could, absolutely. So that's the second area. The third area would be the we don't only do chat, so mm-hmm. we also have a mechanism to present personalized offers. Mm-hmm. And think of the personalized offers as a container, right? So it's a self-service container. Now you decide what you want to put in that container. It could be just it could be a coupon. Mm-hmm. It could be just a static offer, or it could be things like surveys. The nice thing about it is that you can actually present it to the right visitor at the right time, mm-hmm. right? So any company that
based
has
on their behavior as well as what they were doing before, where they came from,
yes,
even their identity, if you know their identity at that juncture.
Exactly, exactly. So companies that have those sort of solutions and are interested in presenting them to the right customers at the right time can use our personalized offers to embed their solution into it and basically present it to their customer base.
Interesting.
The fourth area is data enhancements, right? Everything that we talked about so far is based on data, what somebody is doing on the site, right? Where they came from, who they are. Now, we have a lot of information about a specific site visitor, right? But that data can be enhanced. As an example, one of the partners that we're working with is able to take, they're in the B2B space, they're a company called Demandbase, and they're able to take the IP of a specific company and turn it into very valuable information, such as name of company, headquarters, revenue. And then based on that information, you actually are able to both create better targeting rules, but also you can present that information to the agent, right? So that when they start the engagement, they have everything that they need in order to make it efficient, and so that the visitor on the other side feels gets the level of satisfaction that he expects.
Interesting. Now, these solutions are applicable for all types of industry or a number of industry segments, as well as just segmentation in terms of customer size. So you could be a small business all the way up to an enterprise, and you would find these different applications useful.
Absolutely.
That's great.
So, we're vertical agnostic. Any vertical can use our solutions. And our solutions are used by small businesses, mid-market businesses, and enterprise businesses. And the same goes for the partner solutions.
Well, 2013 was a busy year. 2014 is going to be an even busier year, I suspect. What are a couple things that partners as well as customers can expect to see in regards to the apps marketplace?
That's an excellent question, because as you can see, I would divide it into two areas. One is internal and the other is external. Let's start with the external. There's a shift in the market, right? Consumers, visitors are actually expecting a more robust kind of an engagement on the digital properties of the brand that they interact with, right? So take Mayday as an example. The amount of noise that Amazon generated as a result of presenting
this video chat
on
the actual Kindle device.
That's a video chat with co-browsing on the actual Kindle device. Everybody wants it today, so that drives a lot of demand from our side as well. So we're expecting to see more demand when it comes to multimedia kind of engagement.
So that's one area. What's a second area?
So that's one thing that is happening in the industry. Right, so we see that the industry is actually pushing for engagement that go. First of all, the industry is pushing for digital engagement, and then it's pushing for what is called, omni-channel, multi-channel engagement. So it doesn't matter if you're on your mobile device, if you're on your tablet, if you're on your PC. You want to have the same experience, and you want that experience to be, to go from one device to the other seamlessly.
Yep. Doesn't matter what you use.
Doesn't matter what you use. So mobile is going to be big, right? Anybody who does things with mobile is going to be big. Anybody that can actually create better engagement on the website is going to be big. Anybody that can help commerce sites, commerce on digital commerce or e-commerce is just.
It's a real niche.
Yeah, it is, and it's continuing to grow and to explode, year over year. And there's some very interesting plays that are happening right now that connect, the digital engagement, the online engagement with the offline engagement. And this is an area that we play a critical part in.
Yep.
So that's if you look at from an industry market perspective.
Showrooming, web rooming, a number of factors there.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
And LivePerson has an industry-leading mobile platform already from a digital engagement standpoint.
Exactly. But that's an area where, although we have a leading platform, there's a lot of things that even
still nascent.
Yeah. Either they're missing or it can be enhanced. There's a lot of innovative solutions coming either from big brands or the bigger companies, the bigger ISVs, or even the smaller ISVs that can be very compelling to our customer base. So that's if you look at what's happening in the industry, and it seems like it's the right time. We're at the right time, in the right time, at the right place.
And if you're a partner out there, or a potential partner out there, this is the right time to go and look at different ways in which you could add value on top of the LiveEngage platform.
Yes, because we have a great customer base.
And if you're a customer, there's a plethora of different solutions from an apps marketplace standpoint that could potentially add substantial value to how you're digitally engaging with your customers.
Absolutely. And the nice thing about it is that you're not limited to what we provide. You know that if there's something that you've seen that is very interesting and you want to find a way for it to work with LivePerson, we enable that and we support that.
That's fabulous.
Yeah.
Well, Ido, I thank you so much for your time. This has been a fascinating conversation.
Thank you.
Best of luck in 2014.
Thank you. Looking forward to it.
Thank you for listening to another Digital Engagement podcast brought to you by LivePerson. Check out other Digital Engagement podcasts at liveperson.com/podcast. LivePerson Solutions, helping you to drive tangible business value from your digital engagements via chat, voice, and content, all delivered at the right time and through the right channel. LivePerson, connections through digital engagement.